You guys, good Sunday evening to you. I hope you guys are doing well. It is Vlogmas Day 3. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hey. Ho. Hey. Ho. Happy Sunday. I know that sounded like so dead. I apologize. It's getting late. It's 6:47 p.m. and I'm making myself an unhealthy salad. And I say unhealthy because if you have too much cheese and sauce, well, that's not healthy. And I have sausage and carrots eating up now to go in. Not all of that is going to go in my salad. Some I'll put in for tomorrow. But I have boiled egg. I have lettuce. I didn't feel like cutting up onions and stuff. I'm letting it sit here till that get done. And plus, I don't like my salads cold. And it's also unhealthy because, like I said, I have a lot of cheese. So I have a blend of Colby and Monterey Jack. And then I have, and I probably pronounced that wrong, and I have shredded Monterey Jack with jalapeno peppers. Again, I know I probably pronounced that wrong. It's alright. So that cheese with the jalapeno peppers in it is really good. It is. It's not too strong. You know, it just gives that extra, pop. So, I wanted to show y'all my fireplace so far. I tried to decorate it a bit to get an idea of what I wanted to do. Lavelle had some wood here. I threw it out, but for when he barbecues, that would have been perfect. The logs to go there. But it's so long since I've thrown it out. But yeah, that's my almost finished fireplace. Like I said, I do need to go over it with some white paint and see how that works. And see, I don't know. Right now, I'm going to leave it as it is, though, because I'm a little tired. But yeah, Vale's here for a moment. Hey, Chop. Say hi. He like, girl, if you don't stop bothering me. Chop, chop. Hey, buddy. Hey. So, I didn't go to church today, y'all. When I got back from the hospital, I ended up going to, like I said, the hospital last night. I was just having and I still had to take this off. I just realized it when I held my hand up. I really had such a crazy weekend, and it started Friday, but I thought I had it under control. I was trying not to use a lot of my inhaler because I didn't want to go through it quickly like last time. So I had like maybe 100 puffs left or something like that. By Friday evening, I was like down to maybe 20. By Saturday, even lower. I don't know if it was that much on Friday. But anyway, between Friday and Saturday, by Saturday evening, I was on red. I had like 4 puffs left, 4 or 5 left. And I pulled out my machine a couple of times throughout the day. It seemed like I was getting better. And then all of a sudden, it just all over again. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was the boxes, the dust, I don't know. And then I was cooking at the same time dinner. I did the pork loin, the garlic with macaroni and cheese, and my kitchen got crazy hot, so I'm thinking too that added to it, the heat. And then I had to let the window up, so I'm going from one extreme to the next, constantly coughing, but I don't have a cold. I contribute a lot of that to sinuses. Like when I went to the hospital, she kept asking me about allergies. I don't have any allergies that I'm aware of. I do have a sinusitis, chronic sinusitis. So she was asking me about pain, this, that, and the other. No, so my back and chest hurting from trying to breathe. So when I got through with everything I had eaten, and I think me getting full made it even worse because now it's super uncomfortable on top of it. But the only reason why I ate and relaxed is because I was feeling better. The day was coming to an end. Oh yeah, I do have to get my pictures and things back up at some point. So I didn't think much of it, but like I said, it started to get worse. I ran my bath water because I wanted to take a nice bath and just relax. It just got so much worse. So I was sitting on the couch, and like I said, I had noticed that I had like maybe 5 puffs left. So I used 2 more, thinking, okay, this will do it. Still wasn't quite doing it. I decided, you know what? Why am I still sitting here? Get on up, get yourself together, and go into the emergency, because you know where this is going to go if you don't. It's happened before, right? And so that's what I did. I slowly got all my stuff together. Mind you, I had already prepared for church. Everything for church was laid out already. Like, I wouldn't have had to do anything but get up and get ready, right? Take a nice bath and get ready. And that's if I didn't take a bath the night before. So everything was laid out. So I just slowly got up, try not to stress myself, make things worse, and started, put my pants on top of my shorts. I put on a shirt and sweater. Put my charger in my bag because my phone was on like 30-something%. I wasn't sure how long I was going to be there. Started down the stairs, and as I was, and let me show y'all. See, this side of the fireplace, I had run out of glue and everything. So I have to finish this side, because as you can see, I didn't put the things down there, and then I have to paint it and everything. So, but for now it's fine, because it's on the side of the wall. Nobody's gonna see it right now anyway, just like they're not gonna see the back of it. So anyway, I went, as I'm walking down the stairs, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm so loose. As I'm walking down the stairs, y'all, I was getting worse going down the stairs. I'm like, how am I having a harder time going down the stairs? It's not like I'm going up the stairs. I'm going down the stairs. And as I'm going down, I had to keep stopping, catching my breath. I'm like, really? I get down the stairs, outside. I had to stop in front of the gate, catch my breath. Got in the car, and I just had to sit there. I just sat in the car for a minute, because I just couldn't do anything, right? Now, the good thing about that was, I guess, being out in that air, my water is completely froze. Being out in that air helped a lot, right? It's like it ain't but a swallow soda left. Look at that. So being out in that air actually helped me, and it also could have been the fact that I did take 2 more puffs, and it just needed time to work. While I was sitting there, I took a puff of the other one, Primatene Mist, it assist that one. And like I said, I felt like, okay, I'm starting to open up a bit. So I turned the car off, and I was like, okay, I'm just going in the house and let that work. No. As when I turned the car off, I'm finna go back in, I started to feel, I could still hear it and feel it. I was like, turn the car back on. So I did that maybe about 2-3 times before I said to myself, you know what? Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Just go. Just go. And so I did. I went ahead and I went. And when I got there, y'all, it's hot. And I turned the heat off. Lavelle was talking about he's cold. He put a sweater on. I said, boy, go in my room. Go in my room, charge your phone up, relax, turn the heat on. I'm hot. And so the heat is off, and here I have the window up. I'm still hot. And she told me it's the medication that's making me like that, that's making me hot, which explains a lot. So anyway, guys, I'm sorry I look really rough. So I get there, get out of my car, and I'm walking to the emergency room doors, and I was out of breath. I was like, oh my God, like, I was just out of breath. And I'm stopping and walking, I'm bending over. And when I get in there, and she, hi, can I help you today? I was like, I can't breathe. she can hear it. I was, and so she took the information. She told me to sit down there, call me in a few, and it called. By the time my butt hit the seat, it didn't even have a chance to get warm. They called me, so I went back, and she was like, "Oh, I hear it," and she was asking a bunch of questions. Now, I will say this: they was asking me, in the lab, toward the end of the question, she said, in the last couple of days or whatever, have you thought about harming yourself or anyone else? I was like, no. Now, I know they have to ask that question, but I'm curious as to who would answer that honestly and say, oh yeah, so just the other day, I was so mad, I was going to take myself out and a couple of people. I'm going to tell you exactly what I was going to do to them too. Who's going to say, oh yeah? Maybe there are some people that would. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, and then she said, do you feel safe in your home? I was like, yeah, I get it. Some people, the only way they can get help is to go somewhere and have someone ask that question when it's just the two of them present. But anyway, after that, the lady, she sent me to another lady, and this lady was asking me questions about, well, how many times have you used inhaler within the last distance? I'm like, it was hard for me to remember. Hell, I used it a lot. To sum it up, a lot. Well, what's a lot? A lot. How many? 2, 3, 4, whatever it took. And the reason why is because, and I told her, I said, one nurse told me before, she said, it doesn't matter. She says, until you get the relief that you need, you keep using it. Even when you're on that treatment, you keep giving yourself breathing treatments until you get the relief that you need. But the breathing treatment wasn't working, and I don't believe it's the same as what they give you in the hospital. Now I was in Des Plaines. Now when I was in Des Plaines, that was the same. The same little tubes. It was the same thing. The bottle that they gave me, it said I had to mix it with something. I was like, this is not the same thing. And it just wasn't doing it. Before I could get on that machine and quickly get relieved, and sometimes it took a little bit longer, but I knew I would be okay. With this medicine, it just was not working. And when it did, it just worked for a moment, and like you would hear me at moments where I sound fine, and then next thing you know is I'm back at it again. I'm like, what the hell? Is it the dust? Is it from the cardboard? What? I've worked with cardboard before. I've did a fireplace before, 2 of them prior to this one. Never had an issue. What's the problem? My mind has been cluttered and stressed before. Never had an issue like this. Now, admittedly, in the past, before we got it under control, yeah, I was having a lot of issues. But to get me there, she puts me on she sets me up to get on the breathing treatment. They do a COVID test. Now, I've done it to myself before, no problem. But when they did it to me, y'all, I don't know, maybe it was because somebody else was doing it, but my nose was just, it tickled, it burned, it everything. My eyes was watering and crying, my nose itching, I was sneezing. I was like, oh my God. She's like, yeah, that's good. That means she did it good. Okay. I didn't go through all that when I did it to myself. But anyway, she put me on a treatment. She had me on 2 treatments, because she was like, yeah, I can really hear it. So she had me do one, and then before that one even ran out, she came in and put the other one in. And so I went through both those treatments, and it felt so good to be able to really breathe, that I could close my eyes for a moment and rest, right, without worrying, without coughing, anything. And so while I'm going through that treatment, when that treatment was over, the doctor came in. The treatment wasn't over no more than, it wasn't even 5 minutes after it was over, the doctor came in. Nice guy, so good. Like, this was the best one I had. Just the first 2 times I went, and the other ones were good too. But this guy came in, y'all, and he was awesome. He came in, he asked me a couple of questions. I answered the questions. He was like, I got it. Don't worry about it. He was like, I'm gonna get you your prescriptions. I'm gonna get you the albuterol with refills while you're trying to find a primary. Also some prednisone. Those won't have any refills, understandably so, and not as much, understandably so. And then a preventive like the Flovent, because we were talking about that. I was like, yeah, in the past I would have for maintenance prevention a Flovent or Advil or something like that. And so he wrote me a script for that, with 3 refills. I was like, awesome. But so anyway, he wrote a script for that. He said, okay, so I'll be back, don't worry about it, so then he left, and then he didn't even go out the room good. Then the next girl came in and said, come on, let's go. We're going to go down, you're going to have some x-rays of your chest. We just want to make sure ain't nothing going on in there. I was like, okay, no problem. So we go. Room was right around the corner, basically. We do the chest x-ray, and I was like, how long do you think that'll be? She says, oh, he can read them right now. And just as we was coming out and he heard me say that, he said, yep, I'm finna go in here right now and read it. He just said, I want to make sure everything's good up in there, nothing's clogging, no, anything. I said, okay, no problem. I was like, okay. I go in the room, I sit down again. My butt wasn't even in the seat long enough when the girl said, and he had already told me that he already had the prescriptions on the counter. So when I sat down, he popped back in. He said, oh, one more. He forgot the other one, so he put it on the counter. He said, I'll be right back. He left. Again, he didn't even clear the curtain good when the girl came in. She says, all right, honey. She said, we got your discharge papers. Everything is fine. You're clear. Da-da-da-da-da. Here's your scripts. This is it. I was like, okay. I think I was in there maybe 2 hours, whereas the last time 3-4 hours, admittedly so. The second time I went, I was worse than the first time I went by ambulance, but I think I was worse the second time when I drove myself than I was the first time when the ambulance took me. But I was in and out. The guy, they were awesome. That team was amazing. I was in and out, came home, took me a nice hot bath, the oatmeal, and then oatmeal bath, fixed me something to eat, and then I laid here, and before you know it, I was out. I tried to work on YouTube videos to clear everything because I just got so much piled up that I need to get out, and I started working on it, and I was gone. I think, yeah, I was out of there. I was gonna say I think Jeremiah, but Jeremiah was already gone. He wasn't even home. So yeah, I was out, and it was already, I think, 2 a.m. or something like that. I forget. But then I woke up Sunday, today, and I woke up coughing, just out of my sleep, coughing. I'm like, oh my God, off and on. So, y'all see Chapo? I don't know, he's smelling fresh air. He hears something, I don't know. But I got up, every intentions to go to church, but I couldn't. I was just all this coughing and just everything. And so I let my sister know I wasn't going. I texted my dad, and I said, well, maybe if I get up, take my time, move slow, take a nice bath, just see how I feel and get up out of here. And so that's what I did. I got up, did my hair, put my earrings on, ran my bath water again with the oatmeal, got in there, relaxed, did my nails while I was in there, and I had to cut them down. They was long. When I got out of the bath, I was overwhelmed again. I was so tired when I got out of the tub. What? That's funny. I just felt him staring at me for some reason. He turned his head. When I got out of the bath, I was like, okay, I gotta dry off, get my clothes on. It just didn't have it in me. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go lay back down. But before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and go get my medication just to be on the safe side. So I left, put my clothes on, barely put my, it's one thing to put on bra and your dress and all, I just wasn't feeling that. I threw on some stretch pants up on top of my shorts. I put a sweater on, this loose thing I had on, this thing with no support. I put on and I left. It was raining out. I sat in the car for a bit, let it warm up. I went to CVS, and it took an hour to get my script, so I just waited in the car. One of the scripts I couldn't get, the maintenance, the Flovance, because the doctor wrote it in a powder form. It still would have came out, in the inhalant, but the particular script that he wrote, it wasn't covered under my insurance, meaning it was very expensive. And so he told me, the pharmacist said, well, he said, next time have them write for this is covered under your plan, but this particular one they wrote for, it's not covered. It was very expensive. I said, okay. I said, you ain't got to tell me the cost. We can just get the other ones. I'll worry about that one later. And so I waited for about an hour in the car, and I talked to you guys while I was in the car, but I don't feel like even trying to upload all that from my phone to here. It just would take forever. So I'm going to delete all of that, which sucks. But while I was talking to you guys, a guy came up to the car. Well, he came up to the car while I was sitting there. A guy was pulling up, and he asked the guy something, and the guy must have said no. It was a white guy, because I remember seeing him as he was pulling up. He kept going. After I guess that guy stopped him, he kept going. I guess he said, I ain't coming to this CVS, I don't know. And I was in the CVS in Oak Park, but he seen me sitting there, and he was saying something, but I had my windows open, and my car was running for a little bit of the heat, and so I cracked the window. I was like, and he was like, ma'am, he was like, anything you can do, is there anything you can help me with? And he had his keys in his hand. I didn't know he came from that van, and I didn't know that because I'm sure I seen him on my way to CVS. I seen him on the street walking, so his car must have been parked somewhere, so he was walking across the street or whatever. But I know I'm pretty sure I seen his face, or somebody that looks like him. He was a black guy. He looked like he was mixed, and he was just anything. All I had on me that I could give him was $1, so I gave him that $1. I saw him walk behind me and go toward the CVS doorway and to smoke a cigarette. Now in my mind I was thinking, like, is they playing? Is he scamming? What? But I can't judge. I don't know what's going on in a person's life. So what? He's smoking a cigarette. A lot of homeless people can come up on a cigarette. So I can't judge. And so while I'm sitting there, I did see him come back and go to that van. It was his van, and the van was the window on the side was busted out, like he had it taped and cardboard up. Been there. And then this other van comes in front, beautiful big blue and dark tinted windows van.